Hey y'all, just a quick reminder, we aren't professionals. This content is strictly our opinion and it's for entertainment purposes only. If my voice sounds different, it's because I've been sick. We've all been
I
sick.
was just about to say.
You too, Witchy? Did you get sick too?
No, just been very busy with work and classes. Mostly with work because one of my coworkers actually did get sick and end up in the hospital. So like a
Oh
lot
my
of us
god.
Oh,
have been we all been the rest of us been kind of forced to like take like extra shifts and everything.
Hmm.
And I don't know why this is on to weekend. A lot of people are ordering a lot of pizzas.
ooh,
So
Oh
pizza
my
sounds
god.
so good right now.
It really does.
And Costco
sounds
pizza?
good
Oh,
until you get to like fucking make it and cut it. And I'm like, at some point, you're like, I'm kind of sick of having pizza around me all the time.
how?
Yeah.
No, I could not. I could never.
Okay, then you start working in my job, and then you tell me.
All right, tell them to hire me. I'm on my way.
But didn't you work? You both worked at a pizza place before. You guys didn't
Yeah.
get tired of it then?
No.
I'd started to a little bit, yeah.
What? I don't believe you.
No, yeah. At some point, like I don't know, the smell starts to get to me.
Mhm.
I could eat pizza all day, every day. Legit, that's what I did all through my high school years.
Well, my everyday dish would be this hasn't changed. I've said this from every time we have this conversation would be the steak and lobsters.
Oh,
Steak and
yeah.
lobster with their sides, either a
Yeah.
baked potato and a side salad. Oh, I want to go to Red Lobster. My mouth is watering now.
I still wish they brought back the four-course meal at Red Lobster. That's I'm still gonna lament over the fact that they got rid of that.
Did they really?
Yeah, I have yet to find it over here, and if I remember correctly, I think they took it off because it was considered too expensive. Not a lot of people would buy it. So,
Yeah. Well, I told you, I don't know if you guys remember a while back we had this conversation about there is there are people who will only eat the same thing all the
Mm-hmm.
time. Like all the time.
I remember this conversation.
Yeah.
I could be
So,
I could be one of those
funny enough,
people.
I think my wife is like that because it takes a lot of convincing and a lot of, this is gonna sound terrible, but a lot of pressure, a lot of pressure to like get her to try something new. But I'm also one of the ones like, unfortunately for me, like if I eat something of the same too much for too long,
mhm.
my taste buds and my body will literally start to reject it. And
Mm.
if I keep going at it for too long, it could get back to the point that I will literally gag every time I see it, hear it, or smell it. And I'll be like, I never want to have that near me in my life ever again. Like peanut butter and
Yeah.
watermelon. Never have.
Hmm. I think I could become. I could. If you give me one dish that I really really like, I'm good with eating it constantly. I do feel though, I will say that I couldn't have it. Like it couldn't be the same. It could be the same dish, but like different. Like I have to have a breakfast dish and I have to have a dinner dish and lunch dish.
Mm.
You
Okay.
you get me?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Like that's the only thing. But like for dinner, for instance, like if it was just again pizza, I can eat the pizza. That's fine. But I
Yeah.
couldn't have it for breakfast. I would need to have like something else.
Huh. No, I can. I can eat the same food like over and over. I mean, eventually I think I would get tired and then for example, pozole. When I make pozole, I can eat it.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, and usually I haven't lately, but before, remember I used to make a lot.
Yeah.
Like it could last us, good 3, 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Um,
like if
and
you really
I,
wanted to make it stretch out for like almost a week.
yeah, and I could eat that every day. I could have that every day for breakfast and dinner. But your dad can't. He will say that he can, but he can't. I know he can't.
Yeah.
I wonder if I get that from him. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, I remember that at some point, like, both scientifically and medically, it was explained why people are like that.
Hmm.
And from what I can remember from both of them, I think basically it was like a little bit both with our DNA, just the makeup of our mind, pretty much. Like, okay, like it's like the same thing like with colors, textures, and smells, and like how some people are like night people and some people are morning people. Kind of like
Hmm.
that. It's embedded in your DNA. It's just who you are.
Well, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
No, yeah. When I heard that, I was like, huh. Like, okay, so there's actually a reason, not just because they're picky eaters. Which
Hmm.
again, like because of that, they're saying that's the reason why the picky eaters, I'm doing air quotes here, are like that. Why they're labeled like that. Unfortunately, like it's not just them being picky. It's literally whatever's in their DNA that's making them like that.
Hmm.
That's so weird. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, so now we know. I mean, I imagine like it's not a full excuse for children still, growing up and everything.
Mm.
But I think
Hmm.
that definitely more like for like young teens going into like young adulthood. Like it's like if it stays like that for you for during the teenage phase into your young adult phase, it's like more likely it's gonna stay like that forever. Like it's not gonna ever change. It's embedded in you now.
Well, I tell you, the first time that I heard something like that was Anderson Cooper. He's a news anchor at CNN, and he had a talk show for like, I don't know, you blink and you missed it. I don't even know if it lasted more than one season, but
Mm.
he had an episode about that because he himself, he said that he's had, I want to say it was maybe for almost his entire adult life. So we're going to say about 20, a good 20 years maybe, that he has had like the same thing every day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day. He said like he had an assistant, and every day the assistant knew that there's a specific place where that assistant goes to buy him, and it's like a some type of a club sandwich or whatever. And that's every day, that has never changed. And that he remembered that when he was a kid, he could never really like, to him, he doesn't even see what the big deal is about eating. Like the only reason he eats is because he needs to survive.
Yeah.
But if he didn't have to eat, like he would be fine with that. And he said like it's not an eating disorder, like it's not linked, because an eating disorder usually is because of your weight or whatever, it's linked with your weight. But to him, he said that's not. To him, it was just literally, it's an inconvenience for him to eat. And he had other people, other guests that had similar things. Like there was this one lady who said that all she can eat and all she had eaten also for like the last 15 years was mashed potatoes. That she could not bring herself to eat, like, and if she would try, that it would like make her physically ill.
Wasn't there a
So,
show that had people that had like these weird, I don't know if it was like an illness or if it was something else, that they could only eat certain foods and it had to be a specific way. I remember, oh God, I remember vividly that there was this one lady who she could only eat fries, and it wasn't all types of fries. It had to be a specific type, and she would even like she would make it herself, but she would pick out the ones that she could eat, and all the other ones she would just have it there.
I think that sounds familiar. I think I do remember that, but I don't remember.
I don't know if it went for two because the host, what he'd do is try to help them to eat other foods. So for that specific lady, he took her to this restaurant that had like a deep fryer, and he tried to do it with I think it was carrots, to deep fry carrots first because they were the ones that looked the most similar to fries. And she
Hmm.
literally had a meltdown, like she cried and was like, I don't understand why you're pushing me to do this when I'm happy eating my fries. And he
Oh my
told her there,
god.
I think, that he was there because she had asked for his help, but if she didn't want it, that was fine. But she can't get mad at him for trying to help when she called for the help.
That sounds like something Dr. Phil would say. Like, was
I
that a Dr. Phil
I
episode? I
don't
don't know.
I don't think it was Dr. Phil. This was like a whole I think it was like a show, kind of like Hoarders type of thing,
Oh, okay.
but it was like this eating disorder that they had. It was specifically like they can only eat a certain food.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but I know that if it would come down to it, I would definitely eat steak and lobster every day.
So good.
Anyways, segueing a little bit out of the thing because I'm getting hungry now. We need to not talk about food. So I was scrolling through social media, as one does,
Of course.
as one does when you're sick, when you're ill, or when you're in the bathroom, one of those two. And I came across this one thing that I thought was pretty cool for so many reasons, but especially like well, let me tell you what it is. Have you guys ever heard of something called dark oxygen?
No.
Like
Okay,
oxygen.
dark oxygen. All right, so yeah, so the thing that caught my attention is that dark oxygen was discovered last year.
Mhm.
And what it is these marine biologists were underground, were I'm sorry, not underground, were in the ocean, and they discovered at the bottom of the ocean, and so these black rocks, just these black rocks, and these rocks are producing this oxygen, but these rocks are found in some of the deepest parts of the ocean where there's no light. That's why it's called dark oxygen, because it's like in the dark, it's underwater.
Mhm.
And what is baffling these scientists is the fact that for, what we've known all of our lives is that plants produce oxygen, right?
Yeah, I was just about to
Plants are,
say.
yes, plants are the ones that produce oxygen, which is why, if I remember correctly, and again, you guys, this is for entertainment purposes only, and I'm not a professional, so clearly, I don't know exactly 100% the science, or even if I'm saying the truth. But isn't it like that was one of the characteristics of why plant life is considered to be alive
Yeah.
because of the oxygen, right?
Yeah.
And in school, right, they taught us that, for example, rocks are not alive
Yeah.
because of the oxygen thing. Like that was a big one that I remember. So now they're saying, oh, wait, never mind. These particular rocks, and again, you guys can look it up, just look up dark oxygen, and it's these black rocks, and they're studying them because they don't understand. The thing is, these rocks are creating like double the oxygen that plants create.
Oh, what?
And so they're studying it right now. They really don't know. They don't this is a huge scientific discovery. This is
Hmm.
again, well, last year, but fairly new. Obviously not a lot of people know about it. And so I just thought that was really crazy and really cool because it reminded me of we've been listening to the telepathy tapes, and hopefully we can make a full podcast about that one at one point.
Mhm.
But in an episode of the telepathy tapes, they talk about there's this one of these kids that can. communicate through telepathy. And one of the things that he was saying is that the rocks were alive. That the rocks were alive. And then I told Noodles, I was like, oh my God, like that makes me think of, a lot of the times people in the spirituality world or witch talk or whatever you want to call it, we work with gemstones. We work with
Mm-hmm.
different kinds of that. And now I'm thinking like, oh, that makes sense. It's because they're alive and it's the energy. Because that's what in the telepathy tapes, that's what these kids were saying. Like they could see the energy off of the rocks. Which again, it just says again like everything is. We know this, right? Everything is energy. But anyways, what do you guys think about that? Dark oxygen.
I think it's actually pretty cool. I wish they would call it something else because every time it says that, I can help but think. I know, like, I'm probably not supposed to, but like, or at least try not to. Like, I think of like negative, like,
Right. Yeah, it makes it sound scary.
Yeah.
yeah.
I honestly, when you first brought it up, I thought it was gonna be you know how there's those air pockets deep underwater that
Oh
like
yeah.
our submarines can't go through, and it's too deep for anyone to really deep dive into. So
Mhm.
I thought that you were gonna say that there's like bubbles coming out from there now.
Right.
So that's very interesting that apparently rocks are breathing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder what's making them do that. Like,
I don't know. That's why they're studying them because
yeah, that's
they don't
interesting.
understand.
That's
Which
so
it's kind
cool.
of cool, right? It just again like the kind of world that we live in. There's so many things that still need to be discovered. I
Yeah,
think that's what's really cool. Like the
especially
game
for
is
our ocean, we don't know a lot of stuff about it.
there's land, there's places that we haven't even been to yet.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely the oceans, but this game, this simulation is not over, folks. There's
there's
still
so
so much
much,
more that we haven't explored.
so many things to unlock. That's crazy. I want to know what's making those rocks tick. I want. Have they brought it to like the surface?
Yeah, no, yeah.
And how do they
They do. They
react?
have them in like labs and yes, they continue. Yes.
That's so crazy.
Mhm.
They. I wonder if they have like an ecosystem in them. Like what?
I
Ooh, what if
mean,
it's
I think
like
they're
there's a
part of.
maybe there's a plant inside the rock. The rock is a plant. Oh
Hmm.
my god.
Maybe.
Oh my.
Maybe
It's
I'm a
good.
plant.
We are plants.
Dun dun dun.
Everything's a plant.
Are you a plant?
I'm a plant.
I knew it.
I did. You know what? It would make sense though, cause I mean, the rock, if the rock itself like somehow developed, oh my god, it leveled up. Rocks are leveling up.
Oh, oh, you're
They're
right.
leveling up. How many rocks do you have out here on like the surface on land? How many rocks are down there that are oh. Now, how old are these
Ooh.
rocks? Someone needs to test these damn rocks and see how old they are now.
I mean, I'm as old as the Earth, as old as Earth, because they're like at the bottom of the ocean, like where
But that's
nobody
what
has
I'm
really.
saying. The rock is somewhere where it's not going to be disturbed by humanity. Right now, we're barely in the stages of getting to these rocks, right?
Yeah.
So it has to be that they've been down there for so long that they've adapted somehow. Damn.
What if these rocks
Mm-hmm.
were the original ones that started giving like the oxygen to Earth?
They could have been. They were in the surface at some point and then got
Yeah,
submerged. Ooh,
I like it. I
I'm
like it.
I'm invested now. I want
Did
to
you
know
guys
more.
hear? This isn't. It's not really related, but it's kind of because it's the ocean. But did you guys hear about that?
That the ocean is a soup. Yes, I've heard of this.
No. Ew.
Soup.
That sounds gross now.
The ocean is a soup.
Heard
Think
that,
about
and
it.
I've always thought that sounded stupid. I still think it sounds stupid to this
Well,
day.
think about it though. What goes into the soup?
Yummy things. I don't know.
You got the water, and then you had to put veggies in there, right?
Uh
That's the sea
huh.
plants, and then you put some type of meat in there, right?
Yeah.
The ocean's a soup. I
The
rest my
ocean's a
case.
soup. Dun
So,
dun dun.
I'm sorry. Go
All right.
on. I'm being stupid over here.
Well, have you guys? And I can't think right now of the name of that creature. It's a fish. That fish from in the movie Finding Nemo. That when
Yes, I know which
Dory.
one you're talking about. It's the one that has the little light
Yes.
that's trying
Do
to
you know
eat
which
them.
one,
Oh,
Richie? Huh?
it's called an anglerfish.
Oh, the
Anglerfish, yeah.
anglerfish. Did you guys hear about that? About the anglerfish?
Yes.
I did.
Isn't that
One
amazing?
swam up to the surface.
I questioned that because to me, it's like, was it chasing something? Is it dying? And we just happen to catch it in a moment, like it's about to like accept its death or something. Like I don't that or
Yeah.
like, did it get lost?
No, no, no. That fish is dead.
Yeah, the
Oh,
fish
okay. There.
died.
Yeah. They fishes that live in the deep, deep, deep sea cannot come to the surface because think about it. It's like us. We can't go down there because of the pressure change.
Mm-hmm.
So that fish, there are some, I don't know what the disease is called, but some fishes develop this disease where makes them float to the top. And people are saying that this fish developed it and was slowly swimming upward because there was no way for it to go back down. So that video of it swimming up, it's literally, we're literally in real time watching it suffocate itself.
But oh my God, did you guys see those TikToks where it's talking about it's the TikToks where it's talking about that, and I literally was in tears because they were saying like, first of all, this that anglerfish, the ones that have the light, they're females.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were saying like this like she don't need nobody because she, even in like the darkest of dark, she has her own light.
Yep.
And then they were saying she has her own light. Her whole life, this anglerfish is providing light for others. And she's providing the light. And they said that I like what you just said that it more than likely it was already dying, and so as it was floating up, and they were saying like, oh, the anglerfish was like, you know what? I'm curious to see what's up there, and I'm dying. Like, might as well go and do it. I was just so freaking emotional. I don't know. I was having an emotional day, and I was like, ah, ugly crying, like
No, for
it
real.
went to the light.
I was legit crying for this fish because when I saw the video, I automatically knew. Because for some reason, I just had that random knowledge about the disease. So when I saw that fish, I was like, "Oh, that fish is dead." So when
Yeah,
because I saw it on TikTok and the person was like describing basically what I just told you guys, and I was just there like she's living out her dream. She's seeing things that
yeah,
no other anglerfish has seen before. You go, girl.
yeah. I'm like, ugh.
Okay, a much more darker thing. Damn, you all here saying light shit and stuff like that. It's like, okay, I'm not gonna say my thought.
No, but yeah, it was so sad. But it made me think about that right now. Like, there's just so much stuff in the world that we take for granted that we don't even know. That's
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
Hmm.
It really is.
It's funny. I couldn't help but think of kind of connected, but also kind of not. Do you guys have you guys ever heard of a? It's technically a show right now, but it's also based off of a manga book called Beastars.
Yeah, I highly
Okay,
doubt
so
mine
I was
has
thinking of that because I remember I've been seeing a little bit on YouTube and on TikTok. One of the main characters, his name is Legoshi.
He's the main character. What do you
He's a
mean?
gray wolf, but he's also like a third Komodo dragon from his mom's side, which I still think
Oh,
is
what?
freaking awesome. But he works in a noodle shop with an owl, and for the first time ever, the owl tells him he has to go deliver some udon to an aquatic customer. And I think like everyone's like I remember at the time everyone was like going crazy because like, oh my god, it's the first time we're ever hearing about the aquatic wildlife because like again like no humans, animals developed instead, you know? And of course the aquatic wildlife developed their own aquatic language. And I remember people were like freaking out and like it's like how you guys said, like it brings up the question like because again like he doesn't know much about the aquatic life or anything and like the few aquatic animals that can go on land a little bit, they don't really interact that much with the land people because like they're not there for too long or they're seen as strange and alien because they look so different.
Mm-hmm.
And when he starts talking to Legacy a bit, he cause like Legacy like he's an awkward little bean. Like he's trying to like be friendly, but he doesn't want to push his luck or push too much of his land boundaries. Sea neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
Only to find out that they almost kind of share similarities in life and culture in a way. So
Hmm.
he's just like, oh, like so you guys are kind of living like us, but in the sea. And his neighbors are like, yes, like why is that so strange to you? And he just takes a moment and he has that weird inner monologue like he always does, and like he's just like I forgot what he does, but basically he says like he's a lot more ignorant and unknowing of the world than more than he had thought. And to me, I couldn't help but think like I agree with that. I agree with that with like so many of us, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's interesting. Is that in the manga?
Yeah, it's both in the manga and in the TV show too. I think it got recently updated with a new season.
Oh snap! You don't know what you just said. I'm about to go binge watch it now.
Oh
God
And
God.
dang.
I have to binge watch it too. Like don't get me wrong, it has its moments, but I don't know. I know people always give Beastar Black a lot, but to me it's like I think it mirrors the humanist nature that we and animals walk the line on of each other so well. I don't know. To me, it's like I could see certain scenarios in the show in the manga that reflect back to today.
So we've been working, and I say we because I know you ladies have been doing this too, with manifestation,
Yes.
and it all started with the law of attraction for us, and so we've been, you know, I thought that I had been doing this for just, I don't know, in my mind it was like, oh, about 7 years. But no, in reality, last time I found some old posts from like 10, 11 years ago. And so we've been, we learned about it for a while, and we've been kind of, me, I know that I just devoured any information that had to do with manifestation and
Mm-hmm.
anything that has to do with that. But the other day, Noodles and I were outside, and we were getting our herbally refreshment on, and I had an epiphany about manifestation, and so I wanted to share it with you all because I feel like I unlocked the next step. Okay, and I want to take you guys on this journey with me because I feel like I unlocked it. I I feel like when you're about to go into a room and you put the key in and you turn the knob. I feel like I'm there. I just need to open the door and walk in. And I just have to take that extra step. But okay. So we've learned that manifestation, for example, we hear a lot about fake it till you make it. Picture it, imagine. How do you guys work with manifestation? What is it that, like, what are the steps more or less, or how do you guys feel about it?
I think for me, it's one of those. I imagine. I think about what I want to manifest, and then I just feel. I allow myself to feel however I would feel once I have it. Once I'm there, like realizing and actually appreciating. Oh my god, like this is what I have, and then I just kind of walk with that feeling.
For me, I kind of go like almost go through like a weird three-step process.
Okay.
So I would kind of like picture like what is I'm trying to manifest, and then from there I'll picture like how it would come into my life because those two kind of coalesce together really closely. So I'll kind of go through that process a couple times, and then once I feel like I've gotten used to that, then I'll go through my third process where it's like I feel like I already have it. I'm just waiting for it to just do its final entrance, like very overly dramatic entrance in my life. But until then, like I would still imagine like, oh, like I'm gonna okay, like saying like like winning the lottery or something. Like I
Right.
would imagine immediately like whenever I go out or eating or like shopping and stuff like that, I immediately look at like some stuff around and be like, you know what? I'm gonna come straight through here during my first month of like the winnings and just like go through like a binge buying spree and like buy as much stuff out here I can. And then I'll go like to another store and do that.
Mhm.
Like I pretty much like would do that on my list and then I think like okay, then what I'm gonna do it afterwards. Like I'll pretty much start making a plan and because like how I'm doing that, like it pretty much sounds like in my head already, like I already have it, like I'm already planning how I'm gonna spend it, how I'm gonna save, how I'm gonna divide it and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Mhm. Okay. So yeah, like that sounds about the stuff that it sounds about what we've been doing, which is what I wanted to know because I was getting frustrated, right? And I was super frustrated because I feel like I do one step forward and two steps back, right? Like this is how it feels like, and it's so silly because really I know that I am truly blessed. Like if people who see my life from the outside, I think would be like, "Oh my gosh, you're truly blessed," and I am. I am truly blessed, and I'm thankful and I'm grateful for the things that I already have, right? But I was getting really frustrated because I was feeling like the things that I wanted to manifest, like it's not happening quick enough, right?
Mhm.
And so I think I kept thinking, why? Because I I do that. Like I feel like I do that. And one of the things for me is I definitely overthink things and I'm very analytical, meaning I need to go step by step of things, right? But anyway, so the other day when I was frustrated and I was, basically having a conversation with myself about that. And then I just it dawned on me. And it's like, okay, yes, we know that we have to, put the feeling with it and everything. But I think I barely realized the other day that, like, for us to go, we have to go with our emotions, our feelings, instead of seeing the total picture. If you think of what you want, right? For example, you mentioned like a lot of people is the lottery winnings. So let's focus on that, right? The lottery winning.
Mhm.
Most people will say stuff and then you will picture it, right? Like you picture they tell you, picture getting the ticket, winning it, and how are you going to feel when you win it? Right? That's how we were taught.
Yeah.
Like do you guys remember that?
Mm-hmm. Oh
And
yeah.
then how are you going to feel when you have that in your hands and how are you going to feel spending the money and then we were taught or at least I was taught that hold on to that emotion. But now I realize, or I think that that's the wrong way to utilize the emotions and the feeling.
Mhm.
So, for example, right, with the lottery, if you want to manifest something like that, you have to look into what is it that the lottery win will bring to you. What is it that it's going to allow you to do with that win? Like, what is it that you really want out of that? So, for example, with that same analogy, I've come to realize that it's not so much for me, and I feel like most people that want to manifest or that are into the law of attraction, it's like I'm gonna because I see it all the time on TikTok and stuff, like how to manifest money, and we all see the song, the quick, 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 and ching, 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 money comes to me or something like that, right? Like we've all seen those.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
But what you need to think is what do you think money will provide for you? Right? So like in my case, I was thinking, well, like, okay, let me step back and think about this. I don't it's not so much the money. For me, I think it would be security. I feel like money equals security and you feel secure. And that's one of the biggest things that I want, that I feel that I would get from like being a millionaire. Things like, well, I don't have to worry about are my bills going to be paid next month. I don't have to worry about my medical stuff. Right now, I don't have health insurance. So, you know, I want to be able to go to the doctor. I want to be able to get the care that I need without worrying about breaking the bank. So that's security, right? So I need to think of that. I need to hold on to that emotion. Somehow I need to tap into what that would feel like to me. Not think about winning the money, what that money, how I'm going to win it. That's all like the in between stuff. And winning the lottery or coming into large sums of money, that is like the easy way. But that's not the way to do it. The way to do it is the feeling that you will have if you were living your dream life. Because we all have different types of a dream life. There's some people that want that big mansion. There's some people that want a ranch. There's some people that maybe don't want none of that and they just want to travel. And so you have to think about how and why you want to do those things. Tap into the how and, I mean, not the how, tap into the why you want that and what will make you or get you to that feeling. Like, do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
I understand because, like, honestly, I've been having that kind of thought process too. Like, yes, I described like a very fun beginning, but again, like how me and my wife would always talk about like when we first get it, because like we've also looked up videos of past winners of past well, I wouldn't say past, but like retired lottery lawyers and their advices of what they would give to new winners and like what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them would say to like wait a certain amount of time and then once you get it, talk to your lawyer and make a team, figure out you're gonna how you're gonna budget, how you're gonna save it, how you're gonna invest, stuff like that. And then I remember another thing he said, like another thing he would also tell them to do, which not a lot of um lottery lawyers would actually tell them to do, but like, he would tell them to do. He said, like, tell me a certain amount of money that you would want to probably have like this very instant to not only like settle debt stuff like that, but to also like spend. He said like to just get it out of your system. This
Mm-hmm.
way, with that, you can now have a clearer head of like, okay, now how you're definitely gonna properly like save, invest, what insurances, benefactors, and things like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
see, that's what I'm talking about, Witchy. That don't think about that. Think about what is the why do you want that? Like, what is it that you would get out of that, right? Um, would be the feeling of security, maybe. I mean, I don't know. Like, what is it that? Do you understand what I'm saying? This is
no,
where
yeah.
this is where Noodles and I were butting heads last time. I think. But go on. Sorry.
I mean, for us, it's always been like for me, it's always the fact that like I didn't have to worry about us, not yeah, like us worrying about like whether to rent or to buy anymore, not having to worry about needing to find jobs anymore, and just chilling together. Maybe they go on a few vacations together. But me, in the end of the day, it was definitely more like I saw it more as like a big giant nest egg for us and our future kids and generations. This way they didn't have to worry in case something was to ever happen.
And so that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's what we've been doing wrong. I think that because that's how I've been doing it too. Like, I agree with all of what you're saying. Like, that's what I would love for all of us to be together. Like, my dream is live close by. Oh, that's probably not your guys' dream, but it is for me. I want, my daughter's close to me and maybe not living in the same house or maybe, yes, in a big house but I would love to, you know, be closer to each other and I don't know, like spend time together. So whatever could bring me to that, like that's what I want. But I'm not supposed to think, or you're not supposed to think about how. Like, don't even think about the money. Think about how you would feel if that was already a done deal.
Yeah, like you would feel the relief of like we're set. We don't need to worry about none. We're not worrying about the next bill that's gonna come. We're not worried about I don't know the dog's starving. I don't know. I don't know what's a word.
The dog's starving. Oh my
You
god.
know, like you don't worry about that stuff. Everything's covered. You know for a fact everything's
Right.
covered.
Okay, I'll give you something simple for me right now. Okay. The PS5. Right. I love my PS5. I love playing my games and stuff. Before I had the PS5, I would be like, damn, like I really want the PS5 and I want to try out for whatever reason, I wanted it. But now, I mean, I've had it for a few years now, but like when I got it, now I don't even think about having a PS5 because I just have the PS5
Mm-hmm.
and I just know that it's there. Like I know it's there. And anytime that I feel like I want to play a game, I know it's there. Like I don't have to think about, oh my God, how am I going to do this? What are the steps?
Mm-hmm.
And like now, let's say that I don't have the PS5, but I'm supposed to feel like if I have the PS5 already. But then it's like, okay, what is it? What does the PS5 give me? Right? For me, it's like, I mean, I don't know, honestly. I think the PS5 was the wrong, the wrong choice. But let's say for me, I don't know, it's entertainment. So I'm entertained, and it's also like a way for me to bring my content to people because I honestly do. I feel better when I'm playing. Right now, I'm playing right now as we speak
Yeah.
because for some weird reason I can concentrate more, or it just it helps me.
Yeah.
Because look, I think about the world's richest man. I'm not even going to say his name, but the world's
Mm-hmm.
richest man right now. I honestly don't think that person is content.
Yeah, they don't seem it.
Because if you were content, I don't think you'd want to hurt the world. you know? So clearly, what this is showing me is that it's not money. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then I know people, I see office. I think I'm a happy person, and I'm happy with my life compared to, the 1%. I'm pretty sure they're like, what? Like, you're happy with that? But it's like, even the people that have all the money in the world, they're not happy. So clearly, that's not, you know what I mean? I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's bad, and I mean, I definitely do want more money, but it's what the money will give you. What is it? What will that provide? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
But, anyways, I have some other stuff that I wanted to talk about, but I think we can leave that for the next episode.
All right.
Ooh, what's that smell?
Yeah, it normally smells like weed in here.
Oh, it's my new scented candles.
You mean those coffee mugs?
Yep, it's my homemade candle in a mug. You light them up, and once they finish, all you gotta do is clean them out and reuse the mugs.
No way. Hey, where can I get one?
So for now, all you gotta do is shoot a direct message here on YouTube or to my email, vtdesigns@myyahoo.com. and just tell me your name, the design you want, and where I'll be sending them to.
Wait, what are those things in the jars? They smell amazing.
Oh, those are for the ones who prefer scented wax melts than candles. They come with 4 different scents.
And let me guess, once you finish all the melting, can we use the jars for other stuff?
You got it. Order your very own candle in a mug or your very own scented wax melts in a jar.
All right, ladies, thank you so much. I'm Mida,
I'm Muzica.
And I'm Noodles.
and we're bluntly talking. Bye.
Bye!
See you laters.
Hey, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and follow us on our other social media.